basically knew that he had to take some time off for post-concussion syndrome. He was just a mess. He would throw up constantly every time he took any kind of shot to his head or shook his head too fast or watched TV with too many colors on it. He was a wreck.
I'm glittery with glass. I am way too stupid.
The last big thing I wanted to accomplish was taking Rachel, who's Darin's wife, and she was what we call green. She hadn't been in the business a long time, and she'd been around the business her whole life, but she hasn't actually been in the ropes as a wrestler a long time. And what I wanted to do was be the good old timer and pass the torch and help her become a better performer. And I think she's become great. She's become one of the better female wrestlers in this entire country, and she's earned everything she's getting now.
It was very emotional, but I know that he needs the time off for his post-concussion syndrome, and he deserves it. He works so hard. And
He basically laid out the stipulation that whenever we lost the tag titles, that would be a swan song, and he would be out of the company for a while. Well, it would be his retirement.
Those of you that follow us and follow the web, you knew if the children of pain lost these damn tag belts, I was retired.
I guess the day's come. This will be the last ones for a while, if not forever. Unless I get lucky and I can pull a Cactus Jack or a Terry Funk and come back every couple of months. But I'm getting old, I'm broke down, I had a lot of fun, and now we run Anarchy, and Anarchy's become one of the biggest damn companies in Texas, if not the biggest, and it's going to get bigger, and at least I'll be behind the scenes. But the last couple of months leading up to this have been some of the most rewarding and hardest things I've ever done.
You ruined a fucking perfectly good fucking tattoo, man. Because now that's going to be a big fucking fat scar. Light tubes, corner. Shit, what? About a month later, goddamn light tubes fucking up my tattoos, man.
shut up.
Well, Ladder's last match tonight. Kind of a big deal. We all have our last matches. We always try to see how it goes if we're actually going to have our last match, but it's a big deal. He's a big part of us starting the company. I mean, he's one of the main guys here.
That's what sick son of a bitch.
The only thing that was more sad than seeing him retire was watching him before he retired and knowing how bad he wanted to be a professional wrestling superstar and seeing how much potential he had and how much talent he had, and knowing that it just wasn't going to pan out because of post-concussion syndrome.
Get asked a lot if switching to more of the death matches and the hardcore wrestling lifestyle shorten the career was worth it in the end. It's funny, but the injury that's making me at least take an extended period off happened in a regular match. It was a chair shot, but it wasn't a death match. It was just a wrestling match. And it's funny because it was myself. I did a spot where me being the heel went after a guy with a chair, and he countered with a kick, a spin kick into the chair, and I gave myself a chair shot off his spin kick. Well, my dumb ass hit myself square in the temple, and unfortunately, as hard as I could, it hasn't been the same. Now, every match, there's a concussion. Every bump, there's concussions. After every match, I puke. My short-term memory's gone. My speech is slurred.
The old guy looks dead, brother.
I am way too fucking old for this shit. Fortunately, I'm in a career of wrestling where we never hang it up forever. We'll unlace it, but wrestling and wrestling fans are the worst drug in the world and the best drug in the world. heroin addicts can't quit the heroin, well, we can't quit hearing our names get changed. So I'm taking the time off. This is my retirement match. Maybe no more long runs, maybe no more titles, but maybe a couple more times of hearing people yell ladder.
When they first, okay, you do your initiation chops, take off your shirt. I was like, all right, here it comes.
Mixer, paper champ.
Oh, let's hear it. Hear it now. I want to hear it now.
Paper champ.
I'll tell you one thing. You never disrespect anybody that has a belt in this business. Nobody. You don't disrespect nobody.
And then he started doing his little warm-ups, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I remember Paper Champ, huh? Paper Champ. And then, there it is.
Why is he up against the turnbuckle? Because you're taking too long.
Right there, bro. What's going down? Relax.
And then we'll bring on Darin Childs. Slap. Massive slap. I even got Skyler Skelly to hit me. The worst ones were ladder's chops. The first one actually kind of bounced up and chopped me in the throat. Ended up having a bruise on my throat for a couple of days. Couldn't breathe for a couple of days afterwards too, but pain heals, soreness eventually goes away. You just get right back into it.
I was involved in a car accident prior to leaving the show, about maybe an hour before the show.
You alright, Massive?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. We're gonna check on those guys.
Yeah. That's when I knew that ECW is family. It's not just a promotion. You consider them your family. Everybody came out, checked to see how it was doing. They put the show on hold.
All right, first question. Everybody okay?
Yeah, you got that.
Grace, get over here.
Hey, why don't everybody shut the fuck up? Everybody shut the fuck up till we do this. I need you to talk to something.
This is what keeping real goes wrong.
So you get into that accident, you find out who your friends are. You know the people that generally care about you. Because not one, not two, but all the boys in the back came outside to see if I was okay. And when you get in a car accident an hour before the show, a lot of people are asking me, how did you go out there and perform the way you did? It's not the fans' fault. The fans pay to see a product, and they're here for you, so you give them the best show that you can fucking possibly give them. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people take their personal life into the ring. Don't do that.
Tonight it'll be an honor to wrestle a guy I traveled the road with for 2 years and tag teamed with, and Double Death Tournament, and King of the Death, and Georgia, and Indianapolis, and Cincinnati. And tonight we're going to do each other a little bit of an honor and work each other one last time in 3 matches. The reason we decided to go with 3 matches tonight is I want to do my whole career in one night. You know, when I first started wrestling, I wasn't a bloodbath guy. I was just a wrestler. So we're going to wrestle tonight. And then as my career progressed, I started trying to make people tap out more. So we're going to do a tap outs only match.
That's 2. got one more to go. You sons of bitches better be ready. You better brought the sickest shit you could come up with. Cause I tell you one motherfucking thing. If I'm going out tonight, ain't no better person than to go out against that tough son of a bitch and just tap my ass out.
And the way I ended my career and the way that people probably remember me most is bleeding all over the place and taking tons of light tubes and barbed wire and whatever the hell else they want to bring. So we'll do a death match to end, but we're going to do a little bit different. You know, the fans gave me years and years of pleasure in that squared circle, so tonight we're letting the fans bring the weapons and get to see whatever their sick minds come up with, and we'll fuck each other up with that.
The weapons the fans bring will be interesting, just because of the way that crowd's kind of developed. But more than anything, the no rope barbed wire is always a very dangerous match. It would be very interesting to see how that plays out and exactly how brutal it gets.
I just missed the finish of the show.
Too much emotions, man. Too much.
It's like, I gotta have you shave my head so I can come out in my last match as old Jacob Ladder. I was like, okay, cool, you know, but obviously I was running around doing other stuff and I didn't get to.
I just gotta know what the fuck's going on.
Huh?
You're crazy?
Going back to the way I started, baby.
Okay, here we go.
You know what I mean? The last match.
Here we go. Yep.
Okay, the back.
Is it on? Okay. So,
just knowing that it's gonna be one of the last times he gets in there is just, it's very sad. I don't want to see him retire, but I understand it's better for him. I love the guy.
Last match. People love the business half as much as this dude did. Would be all good in the independent circuit. Half as much. Half as much as that man right there. And not just because he's standing there, I'll tell him to his face. I broke into business with that cat. When you love this business, it's about the fucking fans. It's about the boys. It's about putting on a good show. It's not about the money. It's not about your Fed being better than our Fed. It's about putting on a good show for the fans. Putting on a good show. Having a family atmosphere in the locker room. That right there, brother? Right there. Half the man. If they could be half the shit he did, bro.
That is a fucked up contraption out there.
Darin and Jacob are wearing the same gear that they wore the first time they fought each other back in October of 2004 in Austin. Everything full circle.
Heading into Jacob Ladder's retirement show, there was something that we really, really wanted to show, and that was basically the fact that Jacob Ladder isn't just a guy who gets cut, bleeds everywhere, gives his body for the business. He was more than that.
Over here!
There was some giant pool noodle contraption that stabbed me with some kind of barbecue skewers. Oh, what a brutal night. Well, it wasn't the easiest night of work I've ever had. The ironing board table with the light tubes.
the way the business has been exposed and fans know so much about what we do and what we don't do and what's real and what's not real. Wrestling as a whole has had to step it up, whether you do the death matches with light tubes and barbed wire or you do the regular wrestling and now you got to pull off a 450 instead of just a moonsault. You have to take more risks because the fans are smarter and they know, so they want to see the extreme stuff, so they, at least in their head, they're like, okay, I know that guy, let him hit him with a bunch of light tubes, but shit, I wouldn't do that.
You can only put your body through so much, you know, week in and week out on the road and everything, and then, I mean, you got to know when to stop. I mean, your body tells you. So, I mean, as a fan, I'm disappointed. You know, I hate to see him retire, but as a lover of wrestling, I know this is going to be the best thing for him.
It's not like the old days. You can't wrestle an hour and do 27 headlocks in an hour and the crowd still loves it. You have to go 25 minutes of the sickest shit you can come up with to keep them happy.
You have, I couldn't even explain like what it feels like knowing that every time we would wrestle a match, I knew whatever restaurant we would go to, he would be by the road puking his brains out before we ever got inside to eat. Every time he took any kind of shot to the head, like his world changed, and not for the better.
He's very old school, and not a lot of people would think that. A lot of people are like, oh, but he does the hardcore stuff and this and that, and he bleeds all the time. But even his hardcore matches are very old school. Like, it's simple stuff. You don't have to pull out, you know, all the bells and whistles and do this and that. You know, a simple barbed wire bat to the head, that'll be it. You can tell that his head's not there, and he needs the time off for however long he takes off, or if he doesn't come back at all, you know. And it's definitely much better to see him go out and retire in a way that he wants to.
Even the offense I gave hurt. It was a fall from grace off the apron through a table with light tubes. I gave the move to Jacob Ladder. I couldn't walk for a week from that move. It was brutal.
I wouldn't say the hardcore style has shortened my career. I say the evolution of the wrestling business as a whole has shortened everybody's career.
One more time for all.
It sucks that he had to step away from the in-ring competition, but when you got two choices and they both suck, you gotta, you know, take the lesser of two evils. It sucks not having that tag team partner, but you know, he's still alive. He's still a functioning human being, and he can still talk. He hasn't lost his speech, and he hasn't lost his mind. So, as hard as it is building up to a match like we had, it was so much more difficult knowing that he was going through the stuff he was going through physically.
If you you didn't know it before, you fucking know it now. The only goddamn fucking wrestling company that matters is Anarchy Championship fucking dogs like tubes, tags, all this shit, and you go see this big tatted up motherfucker cry like a goddamn baby. Because I love every fucking one of you and all the boys in the back that you know all I'm gonna do is sit back and watch. They're gonna fucking make you proud. They're gonna make the state proud because we are
To say it was an emotional night's an understatement. From the first match coming out and getting the Japanese treatment of the streamers from everybody, something that in 8 years never got. Me and my business partner, best friend, Darin, and the fans bring the weapons, and those sick motherfuckers wanted to make sure we went out a way I deserved to go out. We beat the shit out of each other. Probably, I don't know, went through 120, 150 light tubes that night. Not to mention barbed wire and Tabasco sauce and alcohol and thumbtacks and everything else. But for everything we did, they were appreciative the whole night. So that was my way of telling them thank you, and that was their way, I guess, of telling me thank you. I spent a lot of the night with a towel over my head so no one could see the big old tattooed man crying because he knew it was coming to an end. But the reaction of the crowd made all that worrying in the back of, do these people like me, do these people respect me? They did that night, and I appreciated it. It got bad. I mean, there was points where right before curtain call, standing in the gorilla, I had to slip away to the bathroom and puke my guts out before my match. And it was funny, I was worse emotionally and physically before the matches than I was during the matches or after the matches. I don't know if it's just, wow, I'm going to unlace my boots and it's going to be it for a while, or can I deliver when they're expecting so much? But I think Darin and myself, we delivered. I think the fans went home happy. Blood was lost, tears were shed, and it was a night I'll never forget. From the boys in the back telling me they love me, giving me a hug, and wishing me luck, to the fans in the crowd telling me they love me and wishing me luck. So to them and to the boys and the fans and the ring crew, I love you, and it was one hell of a ride. So maybe we can start that roller coaster up again one day.